Hello BookTube, welcome to LizziefayeLovesBooks. I'm Elizabeth and it's Friday, so it's time for Friday Reads. Well, originally I wasn't going to do a Friday Reads video because I just really have 2 or 3 more videos that I need to do before I take a little BookTube hiatus. But since it's Friday, I thought, I'll just do one more Friday Reads. So this morning I had a pretty busy morning. I had to get Katie carried off to church. She left this morning to go with the church youth on a trip. She gets back 9 days from now. And I went to the dollar store to get one last minute item for her, and I had a run-in with some very rude, horrible people, and it really upset me. So I actually filmed this video earlier and I shared the whole experience, and I was crying and just and it was really cathartic to just say it out loud and vent it and talk about it, but I'm not going to post it. I don't want that out there. I will tell you though that I was trying to do something good and maybe I overstepped my bounds, although I really don't think I did. I just simply stopped to try to talk to someone who looked like they might need help, and I was shut down. I shared the whole experience on the video, and I feel a lot better just getting it out. I just decided I don't want to post it. So just pray for me, and I know that if I shared it with you, you would be there for me, and I don't want to start crying again. So I'm just going to tell you about what I've been reading and what I plan to read. I have mentioned already that I'm going to be taking a short break. I have got some big projects planned around my house. I just have a lot to do for the next 5 weeks. I originally was going to make it 6 weeks, but I want to be back in time for Booktubeathon, which is at the end of July. So that's 5 weeks from now. I'm going to work really hard this weekend. Besides this video, I have at least 2 or 3 other videos that I want to put up before my break. And so you will know when it's the very last one. It'll be an announcement, and I'm going to tell you about a little giveaway I'm going to be doing and the criteria for that while I'm on my hiatus. Let me tell you real quick what I've been reading and what I plan to read over the next few weeks. I have been in the car most of the last 4 days. Katie went to horse camp at a place that's over an hour away if there's bad traffic. So I was in the car a lot. And because I am listening to Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix on CD in my car, I got a lot done on this. I just have maybe about 100 pages worth of audiobook left, and I'm excited. I've really been enjoying this. It's been a lot of fun, and it's getting really exciting, and I have a hard time making myself get out of the car whenever I get where I'm going, because I'm really enjoying this a lot. And I'm listening to the version that is narrated by Jim Dale. Also on CD, I started The Mark of the Dragonfly by Jalea Johnson. It is read by Kim My Guest. I've been listening to this in my CD player in my kitchen. I'm going to be doing a lot of work in the house, and so I can just turn it on and let it play while I'm working in the kitchen and whatever. This is a middle grade fantasy story. I don't really know much about it yet. I'm just barely a couple of chapters in. Akos read this, and I read her review, and it makes me really excited to read it. So I am excited about this. This is one of our Florida Sunshine State books for 2017-2018, and I am really happy that it's on audio so I can listen to it this month. Now, because in June I'm only reading books that are 400 pages or more, I've only finished one so far, and it was Endless Chain by Emily Richards. This is the second book in the Shenandoah album series. This has a little bit of romance in it, but it's mostly just family drama, women's fiction, that kind of stuff. And this was actually about a minister and some of his church members, and also a love interest and some things that he goes through. Now, I had a couple of issues with this just in relation to the behavior of the minister, and there was a deacon who really, to me, was not qualified to be a deacon, and I just had some issues with how they were portrayed, because I don't expect a minister or a deacon or church leader to be perfect. We're all human, but they should have a certain amount of remorse, regret, and repentance when they know they've messed up. And I didn't see that as much in this book as I would like to have. So that was just kind of the issue that I had with it. But I'm really enjoying the series so far. The first book is called Wedding Ring. All of the names of each book are also the names of a quilt pattern. So Endless Chain is a quilt pattern. In fact, this is an Endless Chain quilt that's on the cover. The covers of these books are just beautiful, and that was really what drew me to them in the first place. And the main characters from the first book are in this book, but they're not the main characters. So I like that there was some continuity. At first I thought it was just going to be about totally different people, and I first started listening to it on audio and I didn't pick up on what the names were. Then when I opened up the print book and realized, I started reading and I realized that yes, the main characters from the first book are in this book, and they do play a big role. So it's just that they're not the main focus of the story. But I really did enjoy this, and as soon as I finished it, I picked up Lover's Knot, which is book 3, and I am a little ways into this. So I want to finish this one this month. I probably won't go ahead and read the next 2 this month because they are both over 500 pages, and I said in an earlier video, just in case there is a Tome Topple readathon later on in the year, I don't want to read up all of my 500-page books that are on my TBR for the year. I want to save a couple. So I'll probably finish this one and then save the last 2 just in case there's a Tome Topple later in the year. Now, these are narrated by Isabel Keating, and I have been accessing them on my phone through the Hoopla app, which is a service that my library provides. So when I get done with Harry Potter on CD, I may go ahead and pick up the next Harry Potter, the Half-Blood Prince. I'm not sure though. I'm not going to be in a huge rush to get to this. We're only halfway through the month and I am just about done with this one. But on the flip side, I'm not going to be in my car nearly as much next week as I was this past week. So I'm not sure. Unfortunately, those are the only books on my June TBR that are on audio, and I am probably not going to have a whole lot of time during the rest of the month to read print books. I'm going to just have to make some time, because if I really put my nose to the grindstone and get busy working on my projects during the daytime, then I could probably take breaks and sit down 30 minutes to an hour at a time here and there, and I can actually read some print books. I'm in the middle of a buddy read with Elizabeth Tyree, and we are reading Shadow of the Wind, and by today we were supposed to have read to page 242. And I am only on page 184, so I'm still about 60 pages behind. So I'm sorry, Elizabeth, I am a little bit behind. I will try to get some read in this today, and hopefully by tomorrow I will get that section finished, and I will then go on and read your comments and type up my own comments. So I'm sorry I'm a little bit behind, but this is great. If you have not read this, I recommend it, and it's a definite page turner. I just have been in the car so much this week that I haven't had a lot of time to sit down and read. And the same goes for this one. I kind of jumped into a buddy read situation with Di from Dice's 19 Hearts and another one of her friends who were already buddy reading this, and I had been wanting to reread Lord of the Rings. I reread Fellowship of the Ring last year, and so when I saw that she was reading this, I decided to jump in. So I am not very far into this. I don't even think I've picked it up this whole past week. So I am still in the same place where I was a week ago. I'm not progressing in this one as fast as I would like to, but I love this book. I love Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, all of that, Middle Earth. I would love to visit there, and I will get this done by the end of the month. Here's what I'm almost done with. I'm actually mostly reading this on ebook through Hoopla on my phone and my Kindle. This is The Bridge to Neverland by Dave Barry and Ridley Pearson. This is book 5 in the Peter and the Starcatcher series. And this one's really unique. This is about some kids who have read the Peter and the Starcatcher's books, and now they found that they have sort of been dropped into the world of Peter and the Starcatchers, and that it's all real. So it's really an interesting premise. It's very compelling. I'm enjoying the story, and I'm almost done with it. I wish I could say the same for this one. I have not picked this up all week either. This is A Light by Scott Sigler. It's the second book in the Generations trilogy. This is on my list of 17 books my daughter Katie wants me to read this year. She wants me to read this whole trilogy. I've read the first one. I have barely started on this one, and I definitely need to get this one read. The third book alone is over 500 pages, so I'm saving that one in case there's a Tome Topple later in the year. But this one I do want to finish this month. I just need to get busy on it. Oh, and one kind of exciting thing that happened a few days ago, my Goodreads updates are posted to Twitter, And so I got a comment through Twitter from Scott Sigler that said, hope you enjoy it, because I had posted what page I was on, which went to Twitter. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And so I wrote him back and said, that so far it's really good, and that my daughter just loved the whole trilogy. She was chomping at the bit to get the third book, which just came out earlier this year. And she just, has loved the trilogy. So I at least could tell him that, that my daughter really loved it. And hopefully I will love them too. So that's everything that I have started. I think I'm in the middle of 6 or 7 books right now, and I've only finished one so far this month. I'll show you a few of the other books that I'd like to read this month. I think Akos and I are going to buddy read Randoms. I believe we're going to start this pretty soon. So I'm going to make it my priority to make sure I stay up with my buddy reads. I've got to catch up with Shadow of the Wind, and then this one, and then also the Two Towers. So those will be my priorities, is to do my buddy reads. Now, Randoms is by David Lease. This is one of our Sunshine State books for next school year, and so I would love to get this one read this month. I'm discovering that I really enjoy having at least one ebook, because it's so handy to be able to just have a book on my phone that I can pull up and read when I'm in situations where it would be more difficult to carry a book with me. So I discovered that most of the Rick Riordan books are on ebook through Hoopla, and I need to read The Hammer of Thor this year. I read the first book in the series, I think way back at the beginning of 2016. So it is time for me to read Hammer of Thor. I got this beautiful print copy for Christmas, and I have not read it yet. So I will, probably still follow along in my book, but it will be really handy to have at least one ebook on my phone, because I'm almost done with Bridge to Neverland, and when I finish it, I'm going to want something else on ebook. Now, I said that I didn't have any more books on audio, but actually I could get Scarlet on audio, but I've already listened to this on audio a couple of years ago, and my goal now is to reread all the Lunar Chronicles that I haven't read in print, because I own the print books, and I feel like I went through them so quickly on audio that I missed a lot. So I do have this on my potential TBR that I will read if I can get to it, but if I don't get it read this month, it's fine. And then a couple of others I mentioned in my June TBR that I would like to read if I could get to them. Spindle's Inn by Robin McKinley, and The Mitford Bedside Companion by Jan Karon. So that's everything that I'm currently reading and that I plan to hopefully read by the end of the month. And then on July 1st, I am starting another buddy read with Jane Catherine on books. We are going to be reading A Man Called Uva. I've got to read that for book club coming up in a couple months, and so I've been really wanting to get started on it, and she mentioned to me that she would like to read it, so we're going to buddy read that starting July 1st. Most of what I'm planning to read for July are going to be books that I need to read for book club. The July book club pick is Skinwalkers by Tony Hillerman, and so you guys have heard me say I'm trying to read the earlier books in the series leading up to that, and then including that. So I've just read 2 so far, so 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. That is my goal for July. I don't know if I'll get that many read, but I'll read what I can, and I'll have fun doing it. And so I'm not sure what I'll pick up next after A Man Called Uva in July, because most of the other books that I need to read for a book club, I don't have audio for. So my print reading will be mainly books for book club, and then my audiobooks, I did a video of my top 17 audio standalones that I want to read this year, so I'll pick something from that list. And then by the end of July, I should be back here and telling you what my TBR is for Booktubeathon. So this is not my last video though before my break. I still have a couple more to post. I've got an announcement video coming with a giveaway and things like that that will happen before my 5-week hiatus. So that's all I have for this video. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.